changing lives.
Hello, good evening. It's another lovely Tuesday, and we are glad to be on your screens again. This is Love at Home. You are watching us live on your set, on YouTube, on Facebook, and all our social media handles. We thank you so much for always staying glued to your TV sets and to our programs. Thank you so much, and we love you for always going along with us. As I said earlier, you are watching Love at Home. And on Love at Home, we seek to motivate, encourage, educate every member of the family to do well, to do better, so that there'll be peace in our homes. This is what Love at Home seeks to do. In the month of November, we've been discussing teens, all forms of teens, from career path, from their likes, their dislikes, and parenting. And today we are continuing. Let me also remind you that in the month of December, 31st December, yes, the last day of 31st December, oh, it will be lovely at the National Theatre. This is Pella Fest, the a cappella groups coming together to give us wonderful music that is soothing to your heart and soul. This ticket is VIP ticket. It is going for 150 Ghana cedis. Because it's the last day, why don't you come, dance, sing, and thank God for how far He has brought you. I have another ticket here, which is also going for 70 Ghana cedis. It's a regular ticket for singles. Do not stay at home. Come and thank God for how far He has brought you. What I love most is the family one. 300 Ghana cedis for a family of 5. So do not say we have nowhere going. Yes, let's move to the National Theatre on the 31st December 2022, and let's go and sing and thank God for ushering us into a new year, which is 2023. On this note, let me pause here. Let's go for a quick commercial break. And when you come back, I'll introduce to you my guest and the topic for today. I am Efia Sewa Mansa, your hostess. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The wait for the Physical Youth Campaign is over, and we have been charged to go. Yes, we will go. Adventist Youth on a Mission. Get involved. The Obuasi Estate Youth Federation is organizing yet its biggest youth campaign after keeping safe of the dreadful COVID-19. We will, through this campaign, study the word to prove ourselves strong, train for skills, drill, hike, and play lots of fun games to equip ourselves for His service. Well-planned programs like career orientation and entrepreneurship skills, a night with Celestial City Choir, visit to Barikesi Dam, and Boyinrekente Weaving Site. We have secured the venue. It's the Adventist Girls Senior High School in Tonso from the 21st to the 30th of December. Register through our website. Visit www.oeyfgh.com. Click on the registration tab, request for token, fill in your details, and make your payments from your mobile money. When coming, don't forget your tent, sportswear, and hiking shoes, Bibles, etc. For more information, contact or WhatsApp 0246 173 817 or 020 546 8765. Be in attendance, for this youth camp will be an experience of a lifetime.
Viewer, thank you so much for staying tuned. I hope you didn't forget to call in your friends, to call in your wife, your husband, your children. Yes, it's very important that you all come together as we discuss this very important topic. Today, our topic is children's choices and parental guidance. Yes, children's choices and parental guidance. Normally, when you hear parental guidance, we have so many things going to mind. But today's era, there is a need to have a JoJo situation or win-win situation. We need to understand what our children are looking for, how we can support them in whatever they are doing. This is what we are going to discuss today. So do not leave the dial. Please call in your friends. That time has come. We are coming to discuss so that we all live better and know ourselves better. On my far left, I have Pastor Yi Kwei.
Yes.
He's a life coach. Pastor, good evening.
Good evening.
And a lecturer as well.
Yes, please.
How are you?
By the grace of God, I'm doing amazing.
The word amazing sounds amazing.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My beautiful lady, Antonia Vondi. How are you?
I'm blessed by the grace of God.
I love your hair.
Thank you.
Hey, SHS people will kill us.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
My next guest is Cyril Kafui. Cyril,
Yes.
good evening.
Good evening,
Or I should call you Master.
Oh, no, please.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's good. That's good. So on this note, you're all welcome. You watching me, those on the studio or in the studio, you're all welcome to Love at Home. And we are discussing parental choices and career and children's choices as well. This is what we are discussing today. Pastor, let me come to you straight.
Okay.
Looking at the topic, what comes to mind?
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I want to thank our viewers across the world, and to say that when we mention children's choices and parental guidance, we are actually at a conflicting point. Conflicting point because usually some parents would want to dominate in whatever they do so that whatever they say is final, and also may even want to make choices for their children. But here we are thinking about allowing our children to make their choices as we guide them. Because, when God created man, he endowed us with some unique characteristics that make us humans. One of them is having higher intelligence. As compared to animals, having higher intelligence, our knowledge about God, which leads us to worship. And then the third one I'll mention is the will, the freedom to make a choice. And so every human being, whether a child or an adult, has the right to make choices. Once you take a person's free will, a person's freedom to make a choice from him or her, the person stops being a human, then he or she becomes a robot. So looking at this to how to create the balance, guiding our children whilst they make their choices, I think that is what we are here to discuss tonight.
This is going to be lovely. I love the discussion already. So let's listen to our teens, what they have to say. Miss Vondi,
Yes, please.
how do you feel when you want to do something and you are not allowed to do?
Okay, thank you for the question. The first thing that comes in mind is, do you really want good for me?
Okay.
Because I've brought something before you, and then bringing that before you, I did not consider myself fit or active to take that decision alone. And so I came to seek your face and maybe sought for some guidance and advice. But then if you tell me I'm not able to do this or I shouldn't do it at all, I'll be really hurt about that. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. This is interesting. Now, Cyril, how do you expect your parents to treat you when it comes to making choices?
Okay, so when it comes to making choices, I would expect my parents to respect it guided me. In the sense that, you know, the world we live in now is a democratic world whereby the views of people are taken into consideration before making certain decisions. So, first of all, before I make that choice of mine, I would have to see or check if it's in favor or if it's favorable to my parents, and also request their help or their guidance. For example, last Friday I was going to play basketball with my friends. And I told my mommy I'll be home before 7:30, and she was like, oh no, she wants me to be home by 7 because she wants me to do something for her. I tell her, okay, then 7:15, then we agreed on that.
Okay, so there's a George situation here. But Pastor, what is so interesting that Cyril was talking about is the word respect.
Yes.
What is the meaning of respect? Because everybody seems to be saying respect. Respect. So where is the boundary?
Okay, so respect actually is to see somebody and have this recognition for the person as a human being, a total human being. And so respect is actually reciprocal. And also, we don't command respect, we earn it. So, like he rightly said, as much as parents expect their children to respect them, so also parents must also respect their children, especially respect their views. And I appreciate what both of them said when they talk about they come to adults to seek for guidance. And so when they come to you and they're seeking for that guidance, what they expect first and foremost is to respect their view, the way they think. And once you respect that, whatever guidance you give them, whatever counsel you give them, the possibility is that they are going to follow it. Where it doesn't seem to suit them per their thinking, you need to explain further to help them to really come to terms with what you are thinking. And so that is the way you look at it. Respect is not commanded, it is earned, it is reciprocal. See the children as complete human beings with their faculties of thinking especially. And so once you have that for them and they know that you respect their views, then they will also seek for your guidance and then you direct them.
So, Pastor, apart from respecting, how should parents go about it? For example, if the child is saying, no, this is what I want to do, how do we go about it?
Okay, so one, it will not be proper for any parent to just sit back and say, my child can do whatever he or she likes. That is not the way to train a child. Let me come in quickly to mention some 3 styles of parenting.
Very good.
One is authoritative. Authoritative basically is to say that you know that you are responsible for the child. You have authority over the child. Then in that case, that is when you do discussions. You have authority over the child. However, the child comes to you, you do discussions. Then we have those who are authoritarian. The authoritarians are basically dictatorial. This is what I want you to do, and you must do it, without considering the way the child feels and whatever. Then we have the laissez-faire. The laissez-faire are, I don't care much, whatever you want to do, just go ahead and do it. I prefer the authoritative kind, where you sit with the child, you respect his or her views, and then you come to terms. Communication is very, very important, very, very crucial. To be frank, any parent who just thinks that the child can go his or her free way and do whatever is not raising the child. So also, any parent who thinks that I am the father, I am the mother, you have to respect what I say. And the child has no reason to communicate back, also is also on the other extreme. So there's the need to create that balance. Hear the child out, whatever choice he wants to make, guide the child to do the right thing.
This is interesting. Ms. Wondi, do you think you need parental guidance?
Yes, please. I really need parental guidance because, one, this life, we only came here to, we will live once on earth. And then there are certain mistakes in life which cannot be corrected, and there are risks as well that are worth taking. And so in order not to end up where you wouldn't want to be in future, you sometimes need to seek the guidance of parents so that you wouldn't make a mess out of your life. Yeah.
Cyril, what about you?
Okay, I do believe we need parental guidance because our parents have faced certain issues and they find themselves in certain situations in which they wouldn't want us to find ourselves in. So experience, they say, is the best teacher, so we do need parental advice.
But aren't you the same people who are saying that you should be left alone to go through so that you also gain the experiences your parents received? I keep on hearing this from the teenagers.
That is only when they do not want us to do what we want, or they do not help us get where we want to. Then it's like, okay, let us do it on our own then, to prove that we are also capable.
Pastor, how should parents do it then?
Okay, so I respect their views. Very important statements they've made so far. One of them is the idea that we say experience is the best teacher. When we say experience is the best teacher, it does not mean what you have experienced personally. But why should somebody experience something and it didn't help the person, and then you think that I also have to go through the same thing? So the experience is the best teacher is that, like he said, parents have gone through certain things, and per those experiences we can learn from them. So they want to guide us so we don't go that way. The other thing they said that is very important to me is that we must know that every choice, I say to people, don't worry about consequences, because every choice is embedded with consequences. And so our choices determine what we become in this life and even the life to come. So we don't want to take chances at all to make certain mistakes that others have made already. And so parents with that kind of thinking, it is a reason why some of the parents would want to kind of push everything on the children. I don't want them to make that mistake that I've made, and they want to force it on them. But you need to share your ideas with them. Sometimes practically tell your children the mistakes that you have made. Practically tell them, so that the child knows that when I go this way, this will be the end result. So that kind of, I'm looking at that kind of communication, the ability to sit down your child and talk with your child, share ideas. That is the way we have to do it. Don't present yourself almost all the time as if you are an angel that came from heaven and never made certain mistakes. Sometimes you need to share. Try to help the kids to realize the reason why you are putting this out, just to help them and guide them to go the way they must go.
Pastor, I want to know if there is a process that will help parents to be able to guide their teens in taking good decisions for themselves.
Okay, so basically, I have not seen established principles or step-by-step way of doing this. But if you want to guide a child to make decision, it doesn't start with you. It starts with the child. And what I mean is that firstly, accepting the child as a total human being unfolding into adulthood. Then also have that recognition, the world in which we are living. You see, one of them said that we are living in a democratic world. It used not to be so, it used not to be that much. But so recognize the world in which we are living. Also, respect their rights. I said from the beginning that having your will and the freedom to choose is a right. You know, respect that right. So basically, once you respect these things, it will help you to see how gradually you will lead out in making that helping the child to make that choice. Let's not forget that in the Bible, Proverbs says that train up a child the way he should go, not the way you want the child to go, the way he should go. And when he grows up, he will not depart from it. So the ability to recognize all these things that I've mentioned and putting the case before the child to make a choice, guided choice into the future, basically for me, that's the way to go about it.
This is interesting. This is very, what is your mind? I like the way you said, there's something on your mind. I want to know.
There's a lot going on in my mind.
Yes, I can see that from your face.
He said that the parents should be able to tell out some mistakes they have done. I've realized that most parents are really shy, like they feel ashamed of what they have committed in the past. And so me coming to tell you that, oh, Ajwa, my daughter, years back in JHS, I failed so many times. You make yourself a mocking stock before your child. And so sometimes they should know how to make certain conversations with us. They can tell us their experiences, yes, but I know it's not that easy, especially telling someone about how wrong you've been or how bad you've been in the past. They should try for us.
Yeah, that is very important. Pastor, when you were saying, a parent just sent me a message that is it every mistake you can share with your child? What are some mistakes that you can share with your child?
Yeah, it's not every mistake. And even sharing your past with your children, it should be guided. It should be guided because you see, our children have a different way of thinking because of generational gap.
Yeah.
And now, in the past, sometimes you think of generations coming around 20 years, but now it's just like 5 years or 2 years because of the change, the rapid changes. So sharing your past and whatever with your children should be guided, or else there are some who are so daring who may think that, why don't I try it? How don't I try it and see how it feels? So it should be guided, and that is what it comes with maturity. It comes with maturity. Sometimes when my boy who is a teen now, sometimes when I'm working with him, once in a while we share ideas. I mention certain things, and I try to see how he feels about it, and so I can use my experience just to guide him so he can make the right choice. So it should be guided, when you share your experiences with your children.
Pastor, how do we group the teens? And at every stage, probably you would have a different way of managing them.
Okay.
You would want to know how to go about that. So that, for example, if I have a teenager who is from, say, 10 or 9 to, say, 13, how should I handle such a teenager? And if I have a teenager who is also from 15 to 18,
okay,
how do I handle them?
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that probably you're looking at children from, let's say, from birth through to maybe to 19. Because when you say teenage, basically it's from 13 to 19. But once you bring in this one, let's look at it carefully. You see, to mold a child's life, it happens within the first 7 years.
First seven years. Okay.
Of the child's life. Because although at that level also you respect the child's choices, but you have more power. Control, yes, more control over the choices than when they get into the teens. So the first 7 years, you put in a lot. You basically dramatize for the child to pick from you, how the child is looking at you, the kind of things that you are doing. You dramatize. Then when it's getting into the teens, that is from, let's say, 9 before 13, at that point also, they are observing you. So there also, you dramatize about it, but you begin to talk. When you are talking in the early part of their life, they don't hear much of what you have said as compared to what you have done. So from that period, then you begin to talk as well as you act. You talk and you act, so that they pick from you your actions, the way you go about doing things, and they must see that at that point what you are saying and what you are doing, they correlate, they agree. Once again, I can say sometimes my children ask me certain questions, but Dad, you said this, but you did this, So you need to have that courage to sometimes even apologize and help them to also see your humanness, as you guide them. So it must start more with dramatizing, continue to talking, and then still you act for them to see. Don't forget that, and when I say dramatizing at the beginning, children can hear when they are very young. So it's not that you just dramatize. You must also talk and program them. Say things that will encourage them and the values you want them to practice in the future. That is basically how you go about some of these things.
Thank you very much. Cyril, let's come to house chores. Do you see them as responsibilities or you see them as punishments?
Okay, so house chores are our duties as children, they are responsibilities. So we'd have to perform our house chores in order to be principled in life, and they also guide us in some way. They make us hardworking also. Yes.
Like what? Give me an example.
Let's see. At home I wash dishes in the house, so I know at 7 in the morning I would have to wake up from bed and go to wash the utensils which has been used. So
For the breakfast and all that.
yes.
Okay. What about you?
Okay, I see every activity as an opportunity to learn. And so if being told to do something, I try my best to do it in a way I can. For instance, weeding, or let's say cleaning the house. At some points in life, you will become independent through the tertiary levels and stuff. So you'll be able to do certain things yourself. Ironing, you wash your own clothes, and cooking too. You have to learn how to cook and perform other house duties because it will help your own life. Yeah.
But why is it that sometimes when we call you, because a parent was complaining to me, when I call my son to come and help me, he's yelling at me. Why is that the case?
Okay, I feel like sometimes we need privacy. We want to be alone.
Really?
Yes.
We need parents, please listen. We need privacy. Yes.
Privacy. And so maybe the time you are calling us is when we want to do something important for ourselves.
That's great.
Yes, not that we don't want to come.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
What about you, Cyril?
Okay, maybe probably at the time in which you called me, I was busy doing something. Then I'll say it out loud that maybe I'm coming, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Then you keep calling my name like I'm entangled with something. I can't just leave what I'm doing. It might be essential, so I must probably do that first.
So that usually puts you off
Yes.
because sometimes you feel you are putting pressure on you and
Yes.
you are yelling, right? And you don't like that. Is that the case?
Sometimes too, they shouldn't just yell. You can come inside and see what we are doing. Playfully, you call us, we will follow you.
Wow.
But if you yell, it's not nice at all. Sometimes too, we might be going through some emotional stress or there's something within our mind. So you just calling us like that. It's not like we don't want to come. There's something. So you just have to come to us. We will follow you.
Pastor, please tell us more about this.
Yeah.
Because I am sure my colleague parents will be like, look at them. What are they saying?
you see, it is the reason why we said right from the beginning the idea of respecting their persons as total human beings. You see, sometimes we feel that our children can't, as if they can't even think for themselves, but they do. And they have certain inner feelings that they want to fulfill. And so you just help them. You have to help them. Different guidance, what we are discussing so far is that they have their lives to live, not our lives. And all that we are doing is that we are guiding them to do that. Now, let me bring in something that is very, very important. If you don't allow your children to make their own choices, she said something very important. They would grow up not being independent. There are some grown-up people. Basically, they have grown old, but they've not grown up. They still depend on their parents on every decision. They can't decide anything for themselves. The reason is that in the teens or early years, parents try to do everything for them, decide everything for them. You see, in choices comes responsibility, comes accountability, and they need all these things in the future. And like she's saying, when you get to the university, you learn how to wake up at your own time, when to go to class, and all that. There are regulations, and you need to follow them. These things are learned from home as we allow our children to make their decisions as we guide them. To be frank, I've realized from what they've just said about sometimes their personal struggles that they are dealing with. And so when you call them and you anticipate that they should respond immediately and they are not responding, like she said, it's a lesson I have learned. Instead of pursuing that the person should come, you need to go there and see what is going on, and that can help them to come out of whatever they are struggling with to follow you. It's one thing I've learned from them.
Today, that is good. But I understand that, Pastor. But growing up, we've also been there before.
Yes.
When your parents, when they call you, in actual fact, you are running.
That's it.
But how come today's one is not like that?
Okay, so they said right from the...
This is what some parents cannot comprehend.
Yes.
Why is it that when my parents were calling me, I will have to run? But in your case, you take your time. I'm coming. I am coming. I am coming. And it will take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and the person is not coming. And you are saying the parents shouldn't yell.
Yeah.
Please help us, parents.
Yeah. Actually, I want to urge our teens, especially, that as much as they think that what they are doing is so essential, when your parent calls you, you must equally see that his or her demand is also essential, is important. And so much delays, it will virtually become a habit. They themselves have said it. So imagine you are in the office with your superior and he calls you to attend to something. Will you do the same thing? Because from what they have said themselves, everything they are doing is a training path leading to whatever they will become in the future. So it shouldn't be a habit that anytime you are called, you want to insist to do it at your own time. You must respect parents calling you to respond to them. And sometimes you can even walk to them, listen to what they are telling you. If it's not needed that immediately, you could ask for permission to finish whatever you are doing, and then you come back to do whatever they ask you to do, so that we can create that balance. But let's not also forget that our age was quite a taboo age. It's quite a taboo age where you don't even ask why anything is done. Once you are told, you run to it. But you see, like what they said, this is a democratic age. Even we don't have it much in Ghana, but other places, children get up to say just anything to their parents. We are not saying that our children to go that way, because this is Africa, and we need to respect the elderly. And culture. Yeah, and culture, respect the elderly. And so we must create that balance. I think for me, that is what is important. How the parents can understand the generation in which we are living and how they are thinking. And also, the younger ones also understanding that our parents are coming from another generation. And so we create that balance, so we respond to them as they also respect our views.
My lovely viewer, you agree with me that we all need to be educated. It isn't just the classroom. There are formal and informal ways, and this is one of it. Let's go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we continue with our discussion, and you'll hear more from us. Thank you.
Yeah.
The wait for the Physical Youth Campaign is over, and we have been charged to go. Yes, we will go. Adventist Youth on a Mission. Get involved. The Obuasi Estate Youth Federation is organizing yet its biggest youth campaign after keeping safe of the dreadful COVID-19. We will, through this campaign, study the word to prove ourselves strong, train for skills, drill, hike, and play lots of fun games to equip ourselves for his service. Well-planned programs like career orientation and entrepreneurship skills, a night with Celestial City Choir, visit to Barikesi Dam, and Boyinrekente Weaving Site. We have secured the venue. It's the Adventist Girls Senior High School in Tonso from the 21st to the 30th of December. Register through our website. Visit www.oeyfgh.com. Click on the registration tab, request for token, fill in your details, and make your payments from your mobile money. When coming, don't forget your tent, sportswear, and hiking shoes, Bibles, etc. For more information, contact or WhatsApp 0246 173 817 or 020 546 8765. Be in attendance, for this youth camp will be an experience of a lifetime.
For one night only, the city will converge at the National Theatre as United in Praise presents the A Cappella Festival. Yes! Brace for a divine musical experience on Saturday, December 31, as Ghana's hottest a cappella groups usher us into 2023 in a grand style. On stage performing Black Capella, The Manifest, Vocal Path, Note 6, K3M, New Era, Soul Street, and many more. Special appearances by Pesdak Praise Choir, Gifted Jia, Mark Enimirenchi, and Perez Music. Get an early bird tickets now at a cool 70 Ghana Cedis standard for single, 150 Ghana Cedis VIP, and 300 Ghana Cedis for a family of 5. Simply dial *928*529# to get your tickets now. The A Cappella Festival is proudly endorsed by Beyond the Return and supported by Charterhouse, Events Dome, Midima Fuheba Clinic, Meridian Ghana Conference, and powered by United in Praise. Pella Fest, a Hope Channel Ghana production.
Hello, my lovely viewer. Thank you so much for staying tuned. You are still watching Love at Home, and we are discussing children's choices and parental guidance. If you have just joined in, you are welcome, and thank you so much. Those watching us on Facebook, YouTube, on your set, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. And before we left for break, Pastor was telling us the need for us parents to educate ourselves or to learn more, to know the gap between our time or those days and today's era. This will enable us know how to handle our teens better. Thank you, Pastor. Yeah. Now, let me come to you, Cyril. If you want to do something and your parents, they are insistent, no, we will not allow you to do this, what would you do?
Okay, so not allowing me to go for what I want will let me feel down. Would be like, no, I'm not regarded, or probably you don't respect my decision. Let's say you've decided for me to be a surgeon, and maybe I probably don't do well with blood, and one day I'm operating someone, then I collapse. This
example is weird, surreal. So for you, you would think that your parents, do not care about you? Is that what you're saying?
Not care per se, but then they should listen to what I have to say to them, and they should help me. Yeah.
Okay, so supposing they are forcing you, or they are asking you, I won't use the word force, they're asking you to go into medicine, you do not want to go into medicine, what will you do?
Okay, so if you persist, I go into nursing, I'll probably find my own path. Let's say I want to do maybe engineering or something. You are persisting, I go for medicine. So you'll be paying school fees for medicine, but I'm doing engineering.
Wow. Antonia, what about you?
For me, I'll have to ask you why you do not want me to go that way, because I have my reasons why I want to go there. Maybe you let me know, maybe your finances or your support will not be so heavy to get me where I want to. So we can come to terms and then find a way to get there. That's what I think. So, and not just saying no to my decisions.
So what if he still insists no?
Then why? Why no? You have to tell me why. Maybe I will understand you.
He's not giving you reasons.
Then there is no reason for you saying no.
So what will you do?
I still have to find a way.
So what will you do?
Okay, for me, personally, I'll sit down to plan my next step, because there are people outside, if not in the house to help or at home. You will definitely find someone outside, and then they should know that we talk to people outside too. And maybe we got that idea from someone and then it's worked. So you feel like, okay, I'm also kind of interested in this. Let me go speak to mommy and daddy about it. If they can help, why not? Besides, this friend of mine has succeeded. And then you say no, it's very bad. You don't just have to say no. You should give me reasons as well. Like the way I said, maybe someone has succeeded. You can tell me to somebody failed, and I'll be like, hey, then we are not all equal. Then let me find another choice. But you saying no like that wouldn't help.
So in a way, you still find a way to go about it.
Yes, you still find a way. Once you have an interest in something and then it's not fully achieved, that interest never dies until you do something about it.
You've heard it.
Pastor, please continue.
Yes. You see, from what these two are telling us, we should understand that we have children, but they are not children. There's a lot in them. And the better we wake up from what we were at their age, or our level of thinking and understanding at their age, it's not the same as they have it now. No, because we must accept that there's so much information, there's so much knowledge out there. And these young people really are far and above. And we must begin to realize that. You see, if they say that they'll find a way around it, they've given us good examples. You know, these examples are very good. There are some that if you want, the person feels that I want to study, let's say, accounting, and you say, go into medicine or whatever, or I want to go into IT, and you are saying that I need the medical doctor, you know, sometimes they intentionally fail.
Yeah.
Yes, they intentionally fail to waste your money, and you have no choice but to put the child on that path. And one thing they said that is very key to me is when we don't help them to make their decisions at home. She said they talk to people outside, and you might not know the kind of things they tell them, the kind of advice that they give them. And even sometimes when they talk to people outside, sometimes it's their peers. And you know, at that age, a lot of peer pressure, you know, their peers. And they say all manner of things to them. Is the reason why, if you are saying no in this age, at my age, I mean during when I was a teen, you know, when I was a teen, when your mother says no, you don't even dare question to say why, you know. But this, like I said, we lived in a very superstitious and a taboo age. It is not like that today.
Pastor, your words are wild.
No, this is a reality that we must face. Today, whatever you say, they ask you why, and you must find a reason for it. That is the difference.
So
between
is it then that parents are not always right? How should we put it?
Yeah, there is no parent that will help a child to make a choice that he or she feels that it is not right.
Okay.
Parents think that I have experience on my side. I have so much information on my side. And so whatever they ask, we try to instruct our children to do or to make certain choices, We think it is right, but we should also not assume that we are all knowing. And that is where the difficulty is. We shouldn't assume that we are all knowing. You know, it is the reason why we must communicate and communicate well. Sometimes adducing some reasons why we want them to go this way and go that way. But we must also understand that in whichever way, we are not making the choices for them. You see, like we said earlier, choices come with responsibility and accountability. Parents do not make choices for their children. They guide the children to make the choices, so the children themselves become responsible and become accountable to the choices they have made. Because they are growing up, we are helping them into adulthood. When we say it that way, that is when the attempt of helping them with reasons as to why I am asking you or I am guiding you to go this path comes from.
This is interesting. Cyril, what do you think is your responsibility towards yourself, your parents, and your siblings?
Okay, so first of all, my responsibility towards myself is to keep my body, because my body is the temple of God.
That's great.
And also, I'm responsible for my success.
So by saying that, what do you mean?
By saying I should spread the gospel and do as I've been told.
By not defiling your body?
Yes.
Okay.
And to my parents, I'm responsible for to make them proud by studying hard and also performing or going through my house duties. And to my siblings, I'm responsible for making or setting good examples in which they would also follow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Miss Wendy.
Okay, my responsibility towards myself, I have to make well-informed choices because I have parents looking after me.
Yes.
And then they are making so much expenses. They are paying for a lot. And I would also become independent one day, so I have to be very careful of the choices I make. Yes, and then responsibilities towards my parents, I have to give them that full recognition as guardians or people taking care of me. The reason I'm saying that is people are not privileged to have parents, let me say.
Okay.
And so once I have gotten parents, I should appreciate them, show them that love, and then regard them as such. And the responsibilities towards my siblings, we have to stay connected, and then we should help each other. We might dislike one or two things we do to each other, but that does not mean we should fight and quarrel. We should stay connected. If daddy and mommy are not around, we should know that we have ourselves. Yes.
This is wonderful. Pastor, what is the responsibility of teenagers to themselves? What should they see themselves as?
Permit me to read two statements.
Please go ahead.
From Ellen G. White's book, Child Guidance.
Okay.
One, she said, every child should understand, in this case teenagers,
Okay.
every teenager, I should say, should understand the true force of the will. He should be led to see how great is the responsibility involved in this gift. The will is the power of decision or choice.
Okay.
Then she said again, the youth must, each for himself, make the choice that shapes his life, and no pains should be spared that he may understand the forces with which he has to deal and the influences which mold character and destiny.
Okay.
So the responsibility our teenagers owe to themselves is to know that every choice that they make is building character, leading to destiny. The life here and then the afterlife. That is the responsibility they owe to themselves. And like they said, you know, in Africa, when you have a child, you know, basically in the early society that we don't have that much. But my son is called Ojekle. So at this level, normally in the village or whatever, in the pure African setting, they'll call me Ojekle Papa. I'll lose my name, and now they use my child's name to call me Ojekle Papa. Now, there is a reason why Africans do that. The reason is that the respect I have in society is tied to that of my child.
Okay.
So normally, when my child misbehaves or goes the wrong way, they normally don't look even at the child. They look at the parents. And that is the responsibility our young people owe to
Their
parents. You should know that whatever choice that you make, it relates directly to your home, the house you're coming from. You know, when a child does something, the question they ask you, which home does he come from?
Yes.
They don't even ask your name or, you know, which home does he come from? So it relates directly to your home and your parents. And that's the responsibility the young people owe to their parents. And let's also not forget that ultimately, we came through our parents, but we came from God.
Yes.
Our ultimate responsibility is towards God. Once you understand these things, it will guide the choices you make. That when I make a choice, it's not just about me. And that is a responsibility.
Yes.
It's also about my parents, my home, my siblings, and also the God that I serve. Once we have these things, we should be guided and know the kind of choices that we make.
Antonio,
Yes.
what do you dislike about this whole issue of parental guidance and all that?
Okay.
And you wish parents would change? Maybe it's not from you, but from your friends. But you can share your own and share that of your friends.
Okay. Personally, to convince me, you should know how to talk to me.
Wow.
Yes, I'm attracted to like words. How you speak really impresses me. And so as a parent, you should be very communicative. You should know how to talk. Because if you shout, you will scare me. I can be easily deceived. But I really think, I read after the lines. Whatever you say, I really take close of your words. And so what I'm trying to say is that it pays when parents know how to talk to us. And then they shouldn't be dictating all the time. They should allow us make our choices too.
Cyril, what about you?
Okay, to be parents should create a good atmosphere whereby we'll come to them peacefully so that we can open up and sometimes tell them our needs.
Are you by any way saying sometimes they close the doors to you?
Sometimes how they react to us is, yes, it pushes us away.
Okay.
So when that atmosphere is created, there is peace. Then we are able to talk. I hear you, listen to me, then yes.
Then yes. Okay. So Pastor, then yes. Tell me more, Pastor.
Yeah.
How should you do it? How should you go about it?
Like they said, sometimes when they speak, I know because of how we grew up, they might even sound as if they're disrespectful.
Yeah.
But if you read between the lines, you see exactly what they're trying to communicate. You see, when a person speaks, it's not just the words that you use, but the feeling, the emotion that comes with the words. Very, very important, And as much as that we want them to respect us, as a matter of fact, they want to be respected as well. These young people, they want to be respected, And so when you speak and they don't find that the respect in what you are saying, it's difficult for them to get in terms with you. They want you to sound that you respect them. I mean, it's difficult for me to use the word, but they want you to they want you to know that they desire to be respected, you know. And don't forget that teenagers are struggling with identity, you know. They are struggling with identity. You see, they are not independent, but at that level they feel they are independent. They are maturing into adulthood. They are looking at so many things, you know. So they begin to desire to be respected, you know. So when you want to let them know that you are my child, meanwhile the person is feeling within that, I need some independence. You see, they said they want privacy. I need some independence, my self-identity and all those things. So you must work on that. You see, if you don't do that, you create a difficult future for them.
Okay.
You can break a child's spine.
Wow.
And when you break a child's spine, when I say spine, not this one.
Yes, I understand.
The person's spirit.
Yes.
To the extent that it will take many years to build it back. Their self-confidence, their self-esteem, their self-worth, you can, just around choices, you can destroy all of them.
Pastor, let me take some comments from our viewers. Good evening. I think we must respect our parents, no matter how strict they are, since they know better. My name is Isaac from Kumasi. Isaac, thank you so much for your contribution. This is from Kwesi Andiao. I guess 2 people wrote it. Interesting topic. May God help us all to nurture our children for eternity. Pastor, please, for my children, for me. Their names are Kwesi and Yao. Oh, okay. I don't know. I think the children asked the mother the parents to write, other than that. So they are saying they like the topic. But let's try to wind up. Our time is up. We just have just a minute to go. Pastor, conclude this whole matter. Advise parents and advise teenagers for us. Okay.
So let me start with the teenagers. I want you to come to terms that when your parents, your guardians are giving you counsel or guiding you to make choices, they mean well. That's the first thing you should know. They mean well. No parent will do something to hurt a child, you know. So they mean well. And you must, as much as you are seeking to understand why, if they are not able to explain everything to you, follow their guidance, and you'll be surprised where you find yourself. You see, God desires honor. In the Bible, it's in the 10 Commandments. Yeah, in the 10 Commandments, it is we are to honor our father, our parents, to say. Now, for parents also, let me say that we shouldn't see our children like what we were when we were teenagers. And you must also know that when you were a teenager, you also had this same identity crisis and whatever. And they are also struggling with the same thing. So let's be patient with them. Let us guide them. Let us help them to make their own choices. And I know the future will be bright for all of us.
Wow. All too soon, our time is up. And I wish we could go on and on and on to discuss this. It's been an interesting topic. I have taken so many things. I've learned so many things. And I know you out there, you've also taken your share. I want to say thank you very much for watching and listening and for bringing in your contributions. And to my special guest, Pastor Kwei, who is a lecturer at the Valley View University and a life coach. I say thank you very much for coming to share your experience and knowledge with us. Then Miss Antonia Vondi, thank you so much. God bless you.
Amen. God bless
in your future endeavor, so that whatever you want to do, may God bless you.
Amen.
And to my handsome gentleman, Cyril Kafui, thank you so much.
Thank you too.
I'm blessed that you came to my show. God bless you so much.
Amen.
And to you, God bless you so much. I am Efia Sewa Mansa. I'm still reminding you, 31st December, we are having Pella Fest. It's all about a cappella music. And it's going to be live at the National Theatre. The tickets are already here. We have VIP tickets going for 150 Ghana cedis. We have 300 cedis for family of 5. And then we also have The regular ticket, 70 Ghana cedis for singles. Do not waste off on the 31st night. Let's go, sing, dance out to our Maker, and thank Him for ushering us into the new year, which is 2023. On this note, I say God bless you for watching. Stay glued to all our programs, and you'll never regret it. God bless you. Good night.